Well, that night, at the press conference, it seemed like, you were all systems go. I got a title shot. Basically after Cody won the fight, he named you right there in the octagon, so it's done deal, right? Well, then he shows up and he starts talking about fighting Dominic Cruz again. He does interviews the following week saying he'd be interested in a fight with Jose Aldo, a rematch with Dominic Cruz. Conor McGregor's on his mind. What were you thinking when all that happened? Were you just like, oh my God, here we go again? This guy's trying to deny me a title shot.
Yeah, man. He put his foot in his mouth way too soon and threw my name out there, and now he realizes he actually has to fight me. He doesn't want to fight me. He knows what's up. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna run through Cody, and he knows it's gonna be a very tough fight. And so he went out there. He's not very smart. He's not a very bright kid. And he went out there and threw my name out right away, and instantly was thinking about it after he got in the locker room and knew that was a bad choice.
So then the fight comes together. We don't have a date for it yet, but the UFC announces that you guys are coaching tough. Was that something that you wanted, or were you like, all right, that's cool, I'll be on reality TV for a little bit, but I kind of wanted this fight to happen sooner? Or were you all right with the timing of it?
I wasn't worried about the timing. I was just pumped that I was going to get the shot. And I've always wanted to coach the Ultimate Fighter ever since being on it and then having a good career in the UFC. I've always thought that'd be cool to coach it. But I had mixed feelings coaching against Team Alpha Male. A part of me was like, man, I don't want to coach against these guys. I never really wanted to be enemies with Team Alpha Male. And it was never my goal to be enemies with these guys and to cause all this drama, especially because I know how they act. But then the other part of me said that, you know what, this is going to be perfect. I can actually get up there, tell the truth, show my true colors. I know their true colors are going to come out and really show what went down with me and Dwayne having to move on to Colorado and, speak the truth. And so ultimately I'm glad I did it because that is the way it's going down. And, yeah, man, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did it.
You mentioned there that, the way they act. What do you mean by that? The way that Team Alpha Male acts, what are you talking about?
They're just childish, man. It's time to grow up. They're exhausting, man. This show alone, just the hours I'm putting into it's tiring. But it's even more exhausting with me having to put up with Cody's and just how dumb he is, and then Team Alpha Male just being so immature all the time. It's just it's exhausting, man. It wears you out a little bit, It's just with their personalities, and it just proves to me I'm glad that I moved on.
I want to get both of your guys' takes on this. How real is this? When this show comes out, I'm sure there's going to be some drawing. I'm sure there's going to be some back and forth. Obviously, I have to see how this goes. I'm not allowed to go in there and watch every day. But whatever the viewers are seeing, TJ, you've even alluded to this, that you knew that the UFC wanted drama. They wanted that Team Alpha Male versus Dillashaw storyline. How real is that storyline for you guys at this point?
Well, on my side of it, I didn't feel like it wasn't like a bunch of drama. I didn't go in there looking for drama and being pissed off with each other. But it just seems that now doing the show, it definitely seems a lot more real. And just being around it and just feeling how bitter and jealous they are. Really, Team Alpha Male and which doesn't make sense at all with Cody because he has no 2 cents on me and Dwayne at all. He was there on my way out. I never even hung out with Cody. I was never friends with the guy. So, he shouldn't even have anything to say with it. He's just fighting Uriah's battle. His daddy Uriah is telling him what to do all the time. And so, on my end of it, I didn't have any drama, but now it just seems like they're so obsessed with me and Dwayne got going on in our life and just so jealous that it just has turned into it.
Yeah, it has turned. It is a bit strange because TJ and I, we focus on martial arts and developing and doing better and focusing on us and our crew. And they seem to be more focused on what we're doing as well. So we're focusing on us, and they're focusing on us. It's kind of strange. I don't get it, So, but like TJ said, with the two of us, there's no drama. Like we're focusing on us, and then they keep bringing up things that have happened 4 years ago. So it just seems they're just stuck in the past, and it does seem to be stirred up by somebody else who's really not in the mix, but is kind of in the back, pulling some strings to have their cronies, say certain things.
Who are you talking about, Dwayne? Who is this guy you're talking about?
I am not there for it, but I'm assuming highly that Faber is, coaching the guys to create some drama.
He's the one that started this whole thing, man. He's the one that gave me the ultimatum. Like when I told him I was going to do my camp out in Colorado with Dwayne for Dominic Cruz, I told him I was going to do my whole camp out there and train with the Elevation Fight Team. He told me I had to choose, man. He's the one that pushed me out of that gym. I think he was the one that was pushing for a title fight at the time.
Yeah.
And he's the one that created all this drama. So he's just continuing to push it. And He knows it's a moneymaker for his team because everyone that fights on his team pays him. It's just a way for him to stay in the limelight, even though he's retired, and to create just.
Yeah. How does Justin Buchholz fit into all of this? Because, I mean,
he's the head coach now.
TJ, you guys were obviously very, very close friends. Mm-hmm. It seemed like, Buchholz was really a guy who embraced the bang system while you were there as well, sure. And it seemed that something he wanted to learn.
Yeah, they were all about, we went out there and we showed them how to run a fight camp, right? How to do things properly. I mean, they're obviously super talented, hardworking guys. Like, it was a win-win. We were all working together. We were all win-win. Everyone's doing really good. It was just time for me to go back and settle my family and focus on my own business. I didn't own, any of Team Alpha Male. I wasn't trying to. I just want to go and help those guys, help myself. We all get better, and I just want to get back to Colorado and move on. And went out there, and for me as well, I figured out what the proper training method is to train an athlete for the UFC, right? I figured out what that protocol is. Left that blueprint there. I still have it, obviously, but it's part of their success was for me, and then a huge piece of my success was because of them. Again, it was a win-win, and it's sad to see how it's turning out. I genuinely, truly loved and cared for those guys. I put 110 into that team. I gave everything I could for it, and and TJ's seen that, which is why we're still working together. I truly, genuinely care for the guys that I coach and train. And, TJ and I, we're the dynamic duo and helping each other grow, and it's fun. But to answer your question, Buchholz is the head coach now, and he wants to create some drama. I think they're still suffering from some arrested development. They act like they're in high school or, frat years. It's kind of a trip.
TJ, were you going to say something?
I feel like Justin and Danny are the ones that kind of really dig deep the most with me. I feel like I was the closest with those guys. Yeah. Danny was going out to Colorado and training with me. I was paying for Danny to live out in Colorado with me and come do his camps out there until he got cut from the UFC. Justin was my boy. He was in my corner every fight. I was in his corner every fight. We were very close. He absorbed the BMT, Dwayne Ludwig system. He still teaches it. It's funny. You still see him teaching. You still see him teaching all the same, and he's still doing all the same techniques. Yeah, because they work. And so it's just craziness. Now that Justin in my mind has crossed the line, he's pushed it too far and hurt my feelings. He's just a wannabe Dwayne Ludwig right now. He's trying to self promote himself when stuff's not there. Cody did win a world title, which is awesome, but everything else he's got going on, he's just trying to make his own name. And the way by doing that is now talking crap about me and Dwayne and making a name for himself.
The drama aspect, I'll say this though, Cody looked really good in his last fight. They did good with him, and I told Buchholz that too. Like, he looked good. They're doing a lot of good things. Keep that going. Like, focus on yourselves. Quit, kind of stir up drama. Focus on yourselves. We'll focus on us, and see what happens in the future. But again, Cody looked good. I will say this: Cruz did not look good. I think Cruz looked off. I think Cruz took the high road and said no, he was healthy and everything, but he did not look the same Cruz at all. How about you, Brett? No. Do you think he looked to be the same Cruz?
Yeah, it's always difficult when you're trying to figure out, was that Cody making him look that way, or was that Cruz? It was a combination of two things. Cody had a really on night, and Cruz had an off night.
That's what happened. My very expert opinion. I've been in this game longer than Dana White. This is what I do. I've dedicated my life to martial arts, and my professional expert opinion is that Cruz looked off and Cody looked on. Perfect. I've had those nights too, both directions. It happens. But again, he looked really good. He was prepared.
I know you guys don't want to talk about the drama because that's not what you want to focus on. One specific issue that they brought up, or specific thing that they brought up, is that they had this GoPro tape of TJ getting knocked out at Team Alpha Male, and you've already came out and said that doesn't exist because that never happened.
I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah. I do want to ask you, TJ specifically. When a fight like this happens, though, and that Buchholz is a guy who films his practices, does a little piece of your mind run back and say, what kind of dirt do these guys have on me? Was I ever in the middle of a camp, dead tired, and Cody was out wrestling me because I had just wrestled 5 guys and he was a fresh body in there? Like, does any part of your brain wonder, like, what did these guys got on me that they could release? Did the thought cross your mind?
No, because I could care less. That's practice. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's got their bad days. That's the great thing about training at a place with a bunch of good fighters. Mm-hmm. You're going to get beat up. That's the only way you're going to get better, I do believe that there's no footage. Actually, I can almost guarantee it, unless I really did get knocked out and can't remember it. But there's no footage of me getting knocked out, and it's just them creating. And I've told them to bring it out because I could care less. Bring out the video of me supposedly getting knocked out. He says that I got picked up and taken down and slammed on my head and I got knocked out. Well, guess what? Put it out. I could care less. It does not bother me. This is practice, and the cool thing about practice is that me, Cody, Buckles, all know Dwayne, all know how practices went down most of the time.
Yeah.
You know how much I was doing the ass kicking, and Cody maybe could have. You know, he's a good kid. He's got some good wrestling. He's got some good boxing and stuff. He's a tough kid. I mean, everyone's got their good days, just like Dwayne's saying, good and bad days. But trust me, man, I am not worried about it at all. I'm going to come out there and I'm going to shine, and I'm going to continue to believe in myself, man, because I know I'm the better fighter.
Yeah, focus on yourself, right? Yeah.
I mean, practice is practice. I mean, they can talk about practice all they want, you know? That shit don't matter.
I've got beat up a lot in practice. I have. But I've beat up a lot of people in practice, too.
That's what practice is for, right?
Yeah, to get better, right?
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Dwayne, what is stylistically,
Yes, sir.
without giving too much away, of course, but what's going to make the difference in this fight? You know, what
Experience, range, making sure that we're doing what we need to do when we need to do it, and being the more skilled veteran, right? So we both have, you know, a lot of information on each other. This is going to be a good fight, but in my, again, expert opinion, TJ is going to run through him.
What kind of differences does it put in a fight preparations when you are so familiar with one another? Like,
I wasn't gonna let you finish. Sorry, buddy. I always interrupt. Go ahead, my fault, buddy.
No, I was done. What does that do when you have all this information?
One thing that we're always doing is improving. You know, so what we did 2, 3, 4 years ago is not what we're doing today. We're always continually improving, and you have to with the constant evolution of mixed martial arts anyway, right? And that was one of the ultimate goals of Kyokushin Karate with Masuyama, is to find out exactly what works, and that's a continually changing process day by day. So the drills that we do today aren't the same drills that we did 2 years ago. Sorry, I swear I get excited. So we're always improving. I can't say what they're doing, but I know that we're always getting better. TJ is on another level. He literally is. I mean, as you've seen his last performance, TJ is literally a modern-day ninja 100%.
TJ, when is this fight happening? Go ahead and break some news on the 5 Rounds podcast. When are we seeing this?
You know, I haven't got an official date, but it sounds like it'll be when the show's done airing. The show starts airing April 19th, so I believe the show's like a 12-week thing. It should get over the beginning or middle of July. So I'd imagine right after that. You know, I was told that it'll be a pay-per-view card. It will not be on the finale. So I was told that the fight is going down after the show. So, I mean, I don't even have an official date yet. So, I mean, it's a long ways away.
If it was up to you, would you prefer that this fight, do you think it's strong enough and that, you know, after the rub of the Ultimate Fighter that it should be a headliner, or would you rather let like a John Jones return kind of take the promotional responsibilities of that, or, you know, like a Cyborg fight or something? Like, would you rather be part of this major card that perhaps you're not the main event, or would you rather be the headliner?
No, I really don't care, man. I mean, ultimate goal is just for me to get my belt back. If it happens on a paper, it happens on an Ultimate Fighter finale, I could care less. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, this is a big fight and it's going to be on a pay-per-view card, but I really don't care, man. I'm more focused on the goal in hand and the promotion behind it. And if I have to do a little bit extra in front of the camera time, that's no big deal.
TJ's been doing really good on the show, coaching the guys on camera, like. He's just the guy who gets better in every aspect of life, and coaching Ultimate Fighter has been super fun to help these guys get their careers back on track. Like this is a fun time. I'm blessed. TJ, thank you, buddy. I'm blessed to be your coach and be along for the ride, man. Like, you're awesome, man.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.